dodge that if you don't mind. Okay. Goodies we need to collect before we turn the world right side up. Yeah. What was that? Ooh, okay. Let's go to 10. Search for Dylan in the maximum security cells of the floor panopticon. So we are sniper. Let's try and avoid tussling with them. Got the sniper. Okay. So we said we were gonna look at the lower level of this when we came back. Thinking it's gonna be a short trip. It was not a short trip. I hope it doesn't spawn more enemies. Okay. I think that's going to be it. Now, the way up to the 5th floor, I believe, is this first. Because we can now levitate. Oh, almost went over. Okay. I think this is the 5th floor. Bridge or causeway, whatever this thing is called. But now with that levitate, a lot of these sort of edge units becomes accessible. If you have a look around, there's P6 cell, which is probably that one. Some of the lower ones as well that's not connected to a causeway you can now access as well. The White Swan P6 cells over there. Quick look around. What is this? Toys balloon? Kids balloon? Hello. A White Swan. No goodies. Water bottle. No goodies. What is this? A crowbar? Took me a while to actually see that. I remember the word for it.
Dylan. He's so close.
Okay, let's go and check this out. P6 cell. P6 cell.
Hello. Can you hear me? Jesse.
Okay. Radio.
Are you there, Jesse?
Emily? He's gone. Dylan isn't here. He might be nearby. Or maybe the hiss got to him. I don't know.
Jesse, listen. Dylan's here. With us. He just walked in. He says he is giving himself up. He's been affected by the hiss, but he is different than the others. We must isolate him.
I'm on my way.
Dylan.
I
Basic
need to get back.
ability
I have to
points.
see my brother.
Okay. So, I'll make a note of this. D6 cells. Cell. Cell. Control unit. Okay. There's a level 6 door. Okay. Haven't got the access yet. Any goodies here? Right, there's a file. Dylan Faden observation. Breakfast is brought, gets out of bed, uses toilet, returns to bed. Ask for television to be turned on, staff do so. Lunch is brought, breakfast is removed. Eat lunch, uses toilet. Begins talking to self, recording speech is not possible due to noise from television. Becomes upset, throws lunch tray at glass. Sedated, crew clean the cell, television is turned off. Comes to, ask for television to be turned on, staff refuse, sleeps. Television privileges were refused due to hostile behavior. Okay, hotline. Control points. We reach tether through control points into the bureau house. Nexus threshold area codes allows for access. You can translocate fast travel construct through the control points. Okay. Stuff we already learned, thank you very much. Let's go up there. Just clear the upstairs area. Look at this. Any goodies? Goodies? Now that I can float, I want goodies everywhere. I can't go higher than that. So when falling, we can use spacebar to float down. And then yeah, so this was what he was writing on the wall. Jesse! Jesse's coming for you! As was the hit, unfortunately. Any goodies? Speak with Emily in the executive boardroom. I'm on my way, Emily, I'm on my way to get all the goodies.
Alright, I won't take up too much of your time today,
Carla.
Tom. Like I said, I want to talk about Jessie, your sister.
What about her?
I just want to get your perspective. What do you think of her? What kind of person is she? That sort of thing.
I adored my sister. When I was little, I mean, back in Ordinary.
And you don't anymore?
When I first got here, sure. I'd always hoped she'd come too. Find me, to take me home.
We
Whenever
hear
we're
them.
together, why should this be any different? Casper said she could come too, to the bureau, if she wanted to. But she never did.
Why do you think that is?
Because she didn't care about me.
Oh,
She always wanted to be out on her own, seeing the world. She always said so. I guess she got what she wanted.
Great. So, she wanted to see the world. Did she ever mention any place in particular?
Why?
We like to ask questions around here, you know that.
I
Any
captured it.
particular cities, towns, landmarks, anything like that?
I don't remember.
What about family friends? Were you close with anyone living outside of Ordinary?
I'm done with this. Tell Casper I want pizza for lunch today.
Dylan, wait, we're not... End of session.
Oh. Yeah, you might have had a tougher time of it than us. Maybe. Inkity? Inkity? There, maybe. Oh. What's that? Why? No. Can we do it? No. Okay, so let's get to the executive support. Watch your step. Speak with Emily. These are the P6 cells. Floor 5 in the panopticon. So we can literally, almost literally, just keep jumping down and float down. Let's do it little by little way. Whoops, where was this? This wasn't this level, was it? Was it this level? No, it wasn't. Floating by, and is there any other enemies? Wait, there's one more. The danger of trying to float down now is these guys will be there. Get some distance. One down. Two down. Whoa. One of them spawned on my level. Is it screechy up there? Come on, come on. The one, oh, goodness. All this nervous tension making music. good to let you know that there's enemies around, but it also lets you know that there's enemies around. Okay, so we are on level 3. Oops. I'm gonna use the float when I go down. This is Archives and Firebreak. Now we go. Cool. Let's go to Executive. Oh, abilities. So we want more energy, more shield strength for this one. Plus 20% energy. Plus 20% shield strength. Seeds. Levitation duration. Okay. Fast travel to executive. Can upgrade launch to pick up enemies, grenades and rockets and use them against the attacker. Thank you. Oh, speak to everyone.
Oh my god, did she have to write everything made up gibberish code? Fucking Marshall with her CIA spy shit, god.
I found this token. Any idea what it does?
That is a jukebox token. Little bastards turn up in the weirdest places, like bad pennies. The Rangers use them to activate an old object of power.
A jukebox, I assume. Does it have any good songs?
Nope, just the one record. Hey, be careful turning it on, though. When it's playing, you get a free trip to the formation.
The formation? That sounds ominous. Why does it send you there?
The Bureau has been wondering that for years. I mean, it's just a pile of rocks built by God knows who, but... Well, researchers have confirmed it's in the same threshold as the quarry. Well, no one's ever been able to map a physical route to the formation for maintenance.
So it's in the quarry. You just don't know where.
Pretty much. We only send in annual expeditions to the formation. Checkups, Salvador calls them. This year's team went in the day the hiss arrived. Come to think of it, the song should have brought them back hours ago.
I can go in and take a look.
I'd appreciate that. The jukebox is kept just past the security booth over there. Just put in the token and enjoy the ride.
BlackRock?
What's the deal with BlackRock?
Oh, fuck. Don't get me started on BlackRock. You know, ever since research found out that it blocks paranatural stuff, they have just been parading dangerous materials in and out of the fucking quarry. Fucking lab coats, man. Love making my job harder.
Sounds like there's some tension between departments.
Still, at least the quarry's got a good view of the night sky. You know, me and Salvador used to have after-work beers down there.
What do you know about Dr. Darling?
About as much as anybody, I guess. Head of research, loves to hear himself talk. All of those science types absolutely do. He's been acting a little bit psycho recently. Although HR told me not to use that word, so...
Everyone thinks finding Darling will lead us to the answers. But if he's completely lost it, then what help could he be? You're security, right? Do you work with Rangers?
Not often. Rangers are specially trained in threshold reconnaissance and ground zero AWE response. Security is more interested in the dangers inside the Bureau.
They must see some weird stuff out there.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, every week they are tackling things that were previously unknown to the human experience. Most Rangers, they retire due to cognitive collapse. I looked up the medical definition. Not fun.
Looked up a medical definition. Cognitive collapse.
How does the Bureau handle thresholds?
Handle might be a bit of an optimistic way to put it. Marshall sends her Rangers in to map them, check growth rates, locate epicenters, take samples, measure stuff, basically.
Sounds like he's done his homework.
Now, down in maintenance, thresholds are used just like any other tool. Lab coats mine black rock from one, maintenance siphons water from another. We use it for pretty much everything, except drinking.
Why don't you drink it? Do I even want to know?
Yeah, a lot of time we find these little chunks in it. It's pretty gross.
I didn't want to know. What do you think of Marshall?
Marshall? Marshall's a fucking badass. Rangers could not ask for a better leader. She's a little, you know, intense, but given the stuff she's seen, I'm not surprised. She does have a bad habit of disappearing, though.
Where does she go?
Last time she vanished, I did some digging into the security logs. I found camera footage of her entering the quarry. She was down there alone for days. Now, typically that's not allowed, but Marshall is kind of above the rules.
I wonder what she finds so interesting in the quarry.
Might be one of those restricted areas.
I have to go.
Me too. You're not the only one who's busy, you know.
Well, the only one is busy. Wait, there was one other thing.
I don't think I ever told you this, but I was actually on the path to being a ranger once. Did the whole boot camp thing. Even got rookie status. Anyway, not the point. My own ranger squad was a great bunch. There was 6 plus me. Remus, Hazard, Cho, Guy, Hepton, Stoll, and Thompson. They were supposed to get back from an expedition yesterday. We had beers and wings planned. Problem is, they weren't here when Darling handed out the HRAs.
Then they had nothing protecting them from the hiss.
You see, they prepped for the worst, but I think that we're already past that. We all wore these pouches around our neck, and I really don't want the hiss to get them. Could you find them for me? The squad would have come back through maintenance, but they probably spread out from there.
I'll keep an eye out for them, Arish. And I won't let them stay hiss.
Old thing.
I have to go.
Me too. You're not the only one who's busy, you know.
Okay.
We're gonna get through this.
Where's the
What can I
research?
do to help?
Not used to talk here.
Marshall didn't give me any orders before she left. Guess I'll just keep managing inventory.
Managing inventory. It's getting fuller down here. This thing we did, that was a Salvador thing. We've got this jukebox thing now, apparently. I'll have to come back to that. It's on our mission log, I think. Is it on our missions log? Old growth, enemy within, fridge duty, put the record on old friend. Okay. Multimedia. What did we get? Dylan questioning, okay. The interviews section. Yeah.
Lots of interesting data on that subject the Rangers brought up.
I heard that he voluntarily entered captivity. That's what Pope said anyway.
She doesn't know what she's talking about. Hiss aren't that self-aware.
Oh, he's got some beef with Pope, man. Let's do the... Oh, that's the... that area. More staff wearing HRAs. Boardroom.
Did you hear that the Hiss prisoner they captured is the director's brother?
Brother? And she brought him here? She's gonna get us all killed.
What if she's working with the Hiss? Isn't it strange she showed up just when they did?
Are you talking about me? The new director is like saying something? No? Hope not.
The resonance emitted from the HRAs is purely antithetical to every variant of the Hiss signal I can arrange. But how did Darling create it?
Timeline of events and speech analysis. Speech analysis. If you understand this to be a force based on vibration and resonance, then perhaps their incantation, which is now the agreed upon term for their vocalizations, is an effort to express that resonance using human vocal cords and speech. Would there be differences if the incantation were recited in different language? The most common word used is want. Interestingly, every usage of the word is attributed to a you. You want to listen, you want this to be true, you must want these ways to drag you away. Are we the you the Hiss are referring to? Does the Hiss believe humanity, possibly all non-Hiss life, wants to join it? to be consumed by it? Is that its goal? The second most used words are through and time. Is this possibly the hiss stating how they arrived here, or an indication of its age? There is no clear intention in the words. Dismissing the incantation as nonsense, as some of my colleagues recommended, is beyond idiotic. Refer to blank for full report. Compiled by Emily Pope, research specialist, by order of director Jesse Faden. Timeline of events. To examine the invasion's timeline of events for possible patterns in his behavior, establishing a timeline is difficult at present because of lack of reliable communications between Bureau sectors and staff. Preliminary models indicate that ground zero of the invasion is located within the executive sector. Once it becomes possible to interview surviving personnel, pinpointing the exact location should be feasible. Other outstanding questions that a timeline may help answer: how did the hiss get past the internal lockdown? How does his resonance advance through space, deliberately or uniformly? What is their ultimate goal? The outside world, across dimensional destination. Refer to blank for full report. Now I'm wondering, if it started in the executive sector, does that mean it could have started with the previous director? Director Trench, when he killed himself or something. Because he did say his thoughts feels like it's not its own anymore. That he's struggling to think.
It's happening. After all these years, Dylan is here. But am I too late? How is he? I need to know.
He's clearly been affected by the hiss, but it's different than any other manifestation we've recorded. Maybe what makes you so special is genetic. He was a prime candidate. Or maybe it's Polaris protecting him, something else affecting the situation. I need to run tests. He seems more in control, more present.
I want to see him. My brother. Or is he?
Of course. Now, Marshall set up an HRA-warded cage to contain him. It's on the upper floor, up the stairs.
Okay, I need to go.
Jesse, be careful.
Mission updated. Speak of Dylan on the upper level. The face of the enemy. Okay. How's our mission logs looking? So we finished my brother's keeper. Yeah. So Jessie goes to the containment sectors to find the Panopticon where Dylan is held. She is led into the Panopticon, a secure containment facility for dangerous paranatural objects, by Frederick Langston, the Panopticon supervisor. She gains the ability to levitate by binding the Benikoff TV objects of power. Using this power, Jessie reaches Dylan's cell on the top floor. There, Jessie finds an empty room with signs of a deadly struggle. Pope contacts her via an intercom. Dylan has just entered Central Executive.
See you later.
We're on the upper floor.
They're endangering us by bringing a hiss in. If Trench was still around, he'd have stopped us.
Please. Trench was part of the same shadowy group that are responsible for every disaster this country's ever seen.
Zachariah Trench was a national hero. Keep your conspiracy nonsense to yourself.
I'm a her though. That guy doesn't like me. However, I'm gonna end the stream there for today. The control stream. Thanks for hanging out. I will be back tomorrow at 2 PM UK time with more control. However,